complicated when you're working to, take a, say, theory of everything or a Tardis and incorporate it into a comic book series that ties it back into reality to make the theory more accurate and verifiable, right? Open network security cameras so everybody can spy on the location and see what I'm doing, because why have security if it's a theory of everything and everything's quantumly entangled, right? Anyway, very minimal server type room. Again, we're working with quantum mechanics. So going all out seems to be like retarded if you're thinking from a quantum perspective, right? Y'all call it manifestation, and you got CERN and everybody else playing with big ass quantum colliders, and I go, if it's quantum mechanics, I should be able to do this from just about anything. Anyway, we take here the awareness, right? And it kind of tells a story of, how the music and all of this was tied in before we got to a reality that went through a black hole, and nobody really knows what it's like coming out of a black hole, but it looks something like that somewhere in there. And of course, the famous, well, let's get naked. And I'm not talking like butt naked, genitals hanging out. I'm talking about soul naked, transparency, big six. You know what I'm saying? And it's still going. I'm having to pick up from the last area where they took it down, and I had so many notes up there. I took it a little differently this time because it still tells a story, and it traverses in a timely order through multiple dimensions. Little footnotes of code just to keep me present. But putting it together, let's close the lab. Haven't got that one quite figured out yet because I don't know why I put these here yet, but it's definitely coded. Fucking Paris. I got a problem with Paris. I gotta figure that out. I'll figure it out. It's tied to like vampires and some past life regression, but I'm attempting to figure it out. And then I get these random license plates, and a lot of this stuff that's in here was stuff that was not purchased, maybe picked up outside, found on the side of the street, or something along those lines. But we're definitely taking the numerology from these random events. And you see 4, 13, blah, 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 5, and mapping them out and seeing where they come out via, spiritual mechanics, even music. Like all my exes live in Texas. This is why I hang my head in Tennessee, and seeing what all numbers come from them. Like this fucking Maryland, I'd say that's tied into some religion with that bitch Mary Magdalene, fucking hoe. She gets on my nerves. Anyway, just getting some random verifications in there, and as you can see, I got Maryland on there twice, which kind of spans from two different time spans from what I'm looking at. I'm looking at like 2018 and 20. What year is this? 25. Anyway, stupid calendar years. So, like the South Carolina one ties into some history, Sweet Caroline or Caroline, let's get gory. But, finding these random things and then comparing them to, say, past events to verify, say, an act of time travel, since, physical time travel hasn't been verified because, quite frankly, humans don't understand what it would be like if one was to physically traverse time. But as you can see, I'm definitely keeping notes on it and explaining it. I've got a lot of stuff out there, especially with Nexus Terra. And then the math just keeps coming in. It's like I randomly put the stuff up here, and then as I get through the math on it, say for instance this here, if we look over here, you got your superposition, which literally equated to 0 through 3 is where the math started. And then I was like, might as well do the ante. And then I got into more, intuitive interpretation of the quantum code that is literally in everything around us. And, some things I was just making for, an invention perspective. Say if I wanted to build a infinite hotel, or maybe like what they call it, hotel has been, and the devil's hotel or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Tesla's hotel. Quantumly, we could be on the lobby level, and there could be stairs in a doorway that nobody knows about, but that's too deep for this video. Anyway, as you can see, a lot of math is involved, and I got a lot more to go, but I'm just gonna take my time with it because I already be stressed out over other shit that kind of goes in relation to this, but we'll talk about that probably in another video. I know it's been a while since I've been on here, but as you can see, this is probably where my T1 processor came in for quantum dynamics. If you look at it, say if you take 0, say for instance on this one here, I've got 0 set as the masculine and the 1 state set as the feminine. Why? Because the 0 is the one that's searching all the parameters in the dark, and the 1 brings it all to light. So if you're looking at, say, the twin flames or soulmates or masculine feminine comparison, since 0 equals 1, technically equal, but as you can see here, the feminine is the one who shines the light from the discoveries of the male into reality. That's why most males, instead of beating on women, you should probably listen to them, because they're really pulling from you if y'all got your synchronicities in order. The T2 processor was basically, say, a secondary male going through the same process to verify it, which ended up being the T3 processor, which that was a lot. But then as I noticed, I got to the T3 processor, I noticed the wake up, and then I think I went down here and I saw the ECI, which I got nodes for about Elias creating infinity, and I was counting it up. Where was I counting that? There was some number somewhere, but they equaled up in being 7, and I found the 7 node already on there. So it's like quantumly, it's magical. If you think about it, things pop up. You just got to understand how the magic works. So for instance, quadrant 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. All that leads to math. Let's say, for instance, if I wanted to make this like the hotel lobby, again, I'm still working on a lot of things. I leave little reminders around, like I need to put in the Faraday blocks in each corner to heighten the energy of the premises. Same thing with the bed. I'm gonna try and make that bitch levitate through some crazy dynamics. But as you can see, I literally set up the doorway, as you can see here, 3327. That was Nikola Tesla's hotel room. I've got other signifying numbers for other math as well. So there's a lot of work involved. Again, like I said, I got my networks basically open, because what is data security in a quantum environment? And most people don't even know about data security. A lot of this main lobby starts at a 0-point structure. So imagine this TP, which brings in the Native American culture, is also a pyramid or a tomb. And you've got the originals here. Again, the male being from 0 point, which would technically be death, because in our current state, no one technically can officially say what death is like outside of nothingness. And you got the ashes canister, which would be the physical realm, or 1, being completely thrown up in ashes or cosmic dust. I got some notes in there to keep me in a good place when I'm updating the entire structure. It's the same thing with the 3T node, because again, this was, when I started this, it was, I couldn't find a role model or an explanation, and I wanted to make sure they had a role model, so a lot took place there. Nice little section, and I want to make this like a little podcast station, maybe get some more people involved, but and if you look down here, so a lot of people are out there playing with magic and other things. I don't see it as magic. I see it as quantum mechanics. Like, I'm looking for quantum mechanics here that reflect on the outside, not through interactions with people, but through actual cosmic interactions. Say if you look at the lightning there, or the book here still functions in a, let's say, a Fibonacci sequence. Say if we come from the black zone here, or the darkness, goes out and tells a story about the government, how they scrubbed a bunch of information, deleted a bunch of data, physical respawns or reincarnations, and it's a lot going on. So I've got a lot to write about, a lot to do, but it's gonna come along. Hopefully when it's all finished, I can do a quick run through the whole wall and explain how the music is tied into even the mathematics.